What's up, guys? DJ Unprotected here, hanging out in DJ Unprotected Place. I know, it's a studio, it's a cool name. So what I want to talk to you today is about a very common topic, right? A topic that can affect different types of artists, right? It can affect writers, it can affect directors, it can affect all types of creative people. And this topic is called writer's block. So I'm not bringing up writer's block, right? Nobody wants to talk about something negative, right? Because it happens to all of us, you know? So one day you're sitting there creating, right? And normally you just start hearing different ideas. You're going from a chord progression to your melody to a harmony, and just things feel like they're popping out of thin air. Like you just got a bunch of ideas, like grabbing them here, grabbing them there. You know, you're feeling everything, right? But then all of a sudden you go to work on a new track and it's like the ideas aren't there. You're not able to think ahead and get an idea of what the finished track is going to be like, right? So when this happens, right, nobody enjoys that feeling. Nobody enjoys being stuck, not being able to work through a new track, a remix, or whatever you're doing, right? So we got to combat this, right? So here are my 3 techniques, right, for getting through writer's block. So who am I? I've been producing music for 10 years, started DJing not too long after I got into producing, right? Since then, I've learned some tricks, learned some things that have helped me get through writer's block. Because you know what? I have definitely experienced it. My first tip for getting through writer's block is just doing. Making the hands perform the act that you need to create. So what do I mean by that? If I'm sitting at the keyboard and I'm having trouble thinking of melodies, chord progressions, or a cool idea for my track, what I like to do is sit there and just make my hands, you know, work the keyboard, play chords, get my hands to perform the act so the mind can catch up and be like, whoa, hey, I got an idea, or hey, why don't we do this? So that's what I do. So my first step is just playing on the keys. It doesn't matter if my mind's engaged or not. I'm running through scales, I'm playing different chords, right? Coming up with different intervals, things like that, right? You just got to do it. Get through it, right? Push through that writer's block. The second tip, right, is to recreate your favorite song. And this could be just grabbing your guitar, maybe playing on the piano, and going through the chord progressions lead and maybe singing along to your favorite song, right? So you can get a feel of like a rhythm, the melody, right? And at some point from doing that, your creative juices will kick in and you'll start thinking about different ideas, how you could do that differently, or maybe change some notes, add a little more swag to the track, because that stuff is inspiring, right? That's your favorite track. There's something inspiring about your favorite music. Never forget that, right? And at the same time, you're kind of studying something that you like. You're studying maybe that producer, songwriter, artist. So you go through and you work through it by maybe recreating someone else's work just to get you back into the flow of thinking outside the box, getting those creative juices flowing. So that's the second way you can combat it. The third way of combating writer's block, right, is to do something different. So maybe you start your tracks with the groove first. Maybe you start by creating a good, you know, drum outline or something like that. You know, maybe instead of starting with drums, right, you just start with maybe the chord progressions, or you start with, you know, an arpeggiator, right, or something along those lines, or maybe use a completely different instrument. One example for me is that I usually always start my tracks with a grand piano or an electric piano, right? I like those sounds. It allows me to craft a type of chord progression and maybe melodies that I'm working on. So maybe the next time I start a track and I'm having issues getting through writer's block, I'll use an organ. I'll use a different sound. Maybe I'll just use strings, you know, something different, right? Maybe a really warm pad, right? Just to get different sounds moving through the mind. You gotta be able to push yourself to that creative zone to start grabbing those ideas from the universe, right? The mind gets excited. So, you know, doing something different. I mean, this could also be, if you want to come up with a track, maybe you start creating the breakdown first, right? So the part of the track or the bridge that's going to be completely different than the rest. And you just tell yourself, your mind, like, this is going to be the different part of the track. And maybe, you know, it's going to be a different flow of the drums, you know, all that. I mean, you know, your song structures and whatever. But that's just my advice. So guys, that's it. Yeah, I just want to share this with you because I've been through writer's block, right? And these are the things that help me get through my tracks. So if you have any other ideas, tips, tricks, hints, anything that you've come up with, right, to get through writer's block, I want to know about it. So please comment down below. Let me know what has helped you, right? Because I'm open to any ideas. I'll try anything to get through writer's block or to come up with a new type of track, right? So let me know down below. If you're not already subscribed, hit subscribe. Anyway, guys, I hope everything continues to go well for you. Peace.